Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of the Lonely Wrist Podcast. I am, of course, your host, Blake Ray, and we have had so many amazing people on this show. But every now and again, we're going to invite somebody on that remind us why we talk about watches in the first place. Today's guest, or should I say guests, is going to do just that. Beaming in from the East Coast in the UK, we have Chris and Iman. They are the voices behind A Tale of Two Wristies, a fellow watch podcast where talk is made to feel more fun and off script from the usual stuff. Their show really wanders effortlessly from horology to writing to even daily rituals and one of my favorite topics, dog ownership. Their conversation is really seemingly only bound by their imagination. So everybody, please welcome to the show, Chris and Iman from A Tale from Two Wristies to the show.
Thanks for having us, Blake. Wow, that was such a skilled intro. Did you script that?
Of course.
I'm impressed.
Yes.
You made it sound really off the cuff, but also really natural and like perfect. So well done.
I've been working on that so it doesn't sound like I'm like spoon feeding. Like, you know, like writing is it sucks for me. Like you guys are both writers. So like I'm trying to figure out how to write.
Well, that was expertly done. Well done.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people just use AI to do that now. So we're really happy that you didn't.
It's both. I mean, AI is like the building blocks, right? And then like, you know, you come in there and just fix all the wonky shit that it doesn't do properly. So, but no, I have like a little structure that I've been just trying to tweak, and you know, like I use AI to write the first structure, and then I'm like just go in and manually fill it in for different people. So, but yeah, welcome. This has been a long time coming, and I've been wanting to do this for a while because I am a fan of yours.
Well, likewise, but I've never seen your face, so it's really lovely to put a face to the voice.
Yeah, no, I mean, mystery guy. I'm trying to learn how to get in front of camera, and yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but like, you know, I post up on YouTube for those who are curious, just to kind of watch and to get the emotional connection. But
you too can put a face to the voice.
Yeah,
you wish.
yeah. Well. No, this has been such a long time coming, and I'm so glad to have, because when I asked Chris to come on, he's like, let me ask him on. I was like, okay, cool, hell yeah. And so
Iman didn't reply for 2 days. And then was 25 minutes late for the episode.
You know what it is though? It's one thing about Iman that I always like kind of envy your ability to do, is just at least seemingly manage your time between real life and feeling like you have to answer right away or you have to be online, because I know I'm that type of person where I see a text come in and I'm like, oh my god, I got to answer it right away, otherwise they're going to think that I hate them.
Yeah.
So it is something I have always held you in a high regard of being able to do.
Wow, I think there's a balance to be struck. And I'm not sure I'm getting that balance right at the moment. Like, I've really actively tried to have a less intense relationship with my phone, but what that means is I end up not replying to people for a long time, and excuse me, it can be frustrating. For example, just now when I was late, you were texting and calling and I just didn't have my phone with me. And you were like, dude, we're recording now.
Well, you were 25 minutes late, but technically you're 35 minutes early.
For the time in my brain.
So like, how did that works out, right? That works out. Yeah, so sure. It's easier for you.
Sorry again. I'm so sorry.
Please don't apologize. Like, you guys are I'm gracious that you guys are here. So and yeah, you're saving me from actually doing other things that I don't really want to do as well. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I think it's just amazing that you could get 3 people talking from all across the planet at once. So, I mean, while you can do that, it is hard to schedule that and juggle it. So.
Yeah. 3 time zones, 3 people, 3 schedules.
Hey, that was almost our intro.
Yeah. You guys have this nice like 3 dogs, 2 writers, 2 dogs, 2 time zones, and I'm like,
and too many watches.
Yeah, that's the nice part. Yeah. Yeah, so now we're amplifying that. But I do have you beat because I have 3 dogs myself. So yeah.
3 dogs.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
3.
Tell us
Well,
about them.
Yes.
I have a beagle, I have a basset hound, and then I have a pit bull.
That's amazing. Are they
Oh.
rescues? Have you had them since puppies?
Yeah. So the two, the basset hound and the pit bull were rescues, and then I had a beagle. And like long complicated story, but like me and my wife, like we were doing the long distance thing for like a while, and I like went to Europe, and we lived in Tbilisi, like right there on the border of Russia. And
Is she
and
Georgian?
no,
Is
she's
that-
Russian. She's
Oh, she's
Russian.
Russian.
Yeah. And so yeah. When I was out in Georgia, like my rescue beagle passed away. So like we went, like, to comfort us, we started looking at beagle puppies online,
Oh.
and so we found one, and now that's the beagle we have. So like it was cheaper for me to fly to Oklahoma, go to like a beagle breeder, like fly back with the beagle, than it was for me to just to get one from a rescue here. Like,
Oh,
who would have
wow.
thought?
Crazy.
And then
Wow.
the basset hound, like, because I live in Vegas, like every summer, like it just gets hot as hell. And so
Oh.
like they do this huge like animal shelter drive. And so I rescued him like the first week of summer, and people just queue up for like 10 hours, like 14 hours to rescue dogs. And they did a foster drive. So like I went up and I queued for like probably like 9 hours, right? Just to get the opportunity to like even foster a dog. And then like when he came out, he just jumped all over me. And then I was like, okay, like, and then I brought him home, and then like he just very quickly just adapted to like pack life. And so I had to keep him. And then like my wife like absolutely despised this dog at first, and then now she really loves him. So it just took some time. He's one of those like rough around the edges people, kind of like me,
Yeah.
like take some time to warm up.
Did your wife absolutely despise you at the beginning as well?
I think she did, but I don't know if she ever told me, but I think so.
Okay. She warmed up eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like even annoyingly, like if like we'll try and pick him up from the bed, like he'll just like turn into like a freaking like T-Rex and just like try and like rip your arm off if you try and pick him up. So like, he is a little cranky still, but there was one point too where like he didn't understand, because I think he was a street dog, and so like he came like he didn't understand like bladder control, which was fun. So like he's on bed trying to get him off the bed.
Oh,
Boom,
here.
piss on the bed. Like 2
Oh,
seconds later, I'm
no.
like, oh shit. So, but yeah. So let's talk about some watches. All right, let's talk about some watches.
What are those?
Yeah, you guys somehow like you talk about so much different topics, and you just jump around, and like I just like try to. It's cool. I really respect. I really enjoy it, because it's like, sometimes listening to watch content like takes like effort, and it like sucks because you're like it's weird to say that.
Yeah, well, how I've described how our episodes work to people is that, Iman and I we have like sort of an intro of things that we go through, then we have like a main segment, and then a recurring segment or something that ends the episode. But honestly, the way our episodes really work is just, at least the way I view it, is it's just like two friends getting together to talk for a little while, and that's kind of what it ends up being. Like we have topics to guide us, but it's just like catching up with a friend every couple of weeks, and I think in that way it works.
That's like the best way to do it, right? Because like if you can't, I've learned, right, and like that's Chris and I were just talking about this, but like if it feels like work, then it's gonna suck, and then there's no sustainability, and then like you crash and burn, and then like you not only do you like disappoint yourself, but you disappoint people that enjoy your podcast, and so like just balancing it is just the thing that nobody really talks about, publicly.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's like sort of the way Chris and I have gotten to know each other is through the podcasts. Also, like right now, all I want to do is ask you, Blake, about what it was like to live in Tbilisi. I've heard it's
It was
beautiful.
cool. It was cool. It was super cool. Yeah, I mean, I walked a lot. I lived in Istanbul as well, and
Oh wow, another beautiful city.
yeah. No, I mean, it was cool. It was cool. I miss it. I mean, it was much cheaper too. Much cheaper to live there than Las Vegas. So, but yeah, it was cool. And that, you know, I found like my love there for like strays, you know, because like there's so many stray dogs there, you know. We'll have to do a whole other episode of just like non-watch talking stuff.
Yeah, the places you've lived.
Yeah.
Speaking of watches, I just spied an Apple Watch on your wrist, Blake. Oof.
I'm
Oh,
offsetting
double
it.
wristing.
That makes it okay.
Yeah, no, I'm offsetting it with the Omega. So like, I think that's how you offset it, right? Not to be like a watch snobbery person, right? But
Yeah.
if you take the value of your Apple Watch and multiply it by 2, you offset the Apple Watch.
When you double wrist with an Apple Watch, which wrist do you use to tell the time?
My phone.
If you're doing a quick flick of the wrist,
My
which
phone.
one do you go for? Do you alternate like a swimmer?
I use my phone. So the answer you were not expecting.
The third option.
That's the answer Chris was expecting.
Yeah, well, it's
100%.
I will like, weirdly enough, I will try to like figure out like how I can use my watches other than telling the time, but like, and I had this like thing. So like, I used to wear like my Apple Watch on my left wrist, like where my watch is. And then I figured out that you can like flip the Apple Watch upside down and then be like, oh, like tell Apple like, oh, this is on my right wrist. And then like it like flips the whole thing over. So I figured that out. So now it permanently lives on my right wrist, and then a watch lives here.
So wait, so which Omega is that?
This is the Seamaster 300 Heritage.
Oh, I love.
Let me
that.
make her big.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's one of the best in their lineup, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
it's a sandwich dial, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And then it's cool because it also has like the jumping hour. So like the hour just quick sets.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I picked this up like last year. And yeah, I'm not a huge like Rolex guy, but like I got a call from Rolex for like an Explorer 140. And it was like, you know, they were getting ready to like ring me out. And it was like 8 G's, and I was like this is just a 3-handed watch. It doesn't do anything else. Like what am I doing here? And so I went around the store like trying to save myself, and I found this in the pre-owned section. And yeah, and then they were like, oh, it comes with a warranty and all this, and the box and papers are in New York and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then when they shipped the box and paperwork, it came with the Omega warranty. And I found out that I was like, why is this so cheap? Because like I've been wanting one of these for a really long time. And like I think they were around like $6,000-ish like on the secondary market. And this one was like $4,100 like out the door. And I'm like, was this like stolen? Is this like a crackhead's watch or something? Like, and I don't know, but they apparently like mismarked it, because there was an earlier version that had an older movement, and yeah, it looked different. So I was like, I knew, because the other one didn't have the lollipop secondhand, right? So me being like a watchman, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the new one. And then yeah, when the warranty and all the paperwork came in, the watch was like less than a year old, like, and there was no visible wear on it at all. So I like stole it, but I paid for it at the same time. So if I'm in jail for some reason,
your conscience is clean.
Yeah, I've told everybody about it. So like, hopefully.
Well, Omega listened to your podcast, right? So I'm sure they'll come after you.
Maybe. I would know. It was so funny because when I was in New York, when me and Chris were chilling, that next night after that Oris thing, like we had literally just wrapped up filming, like, and we had like a wrap dinner, and it was like the the vice president of Omega was there, and like somebody from marketing, and like, you know, they were sitting next to me, and I was just kind of like tired, and I just was like all up in my own little ball of like emotions, and like and then so I'm like, I didn't talk to these people like until like an hour after I sat down next to them. Like I didn't even make eye contact with them, and I'm like, oh hey, like who are you, you know? And they're like, oh, I'm the vice president of Omega. And I'm like, you know, I'm the marketing person from Omega. And I'm like, oh, like I wish I said hi to you like over an hour ago. Like, and
That's amazing.
It was cool. It was super cool. And yeah, they're really nice. Now we follow each other on Instagram. So they might listen, but I mean,
I'm working. Think they're gonna care that much.
Yeah, I'm slowly working on getting myself canceled. So we'll see. We'll see.
I don't think it's that hard these days.
No, I mean, you wear two different color socks, it seems like.
Not for us white guys. We can get canceled pretty easily now.
Yeah, I mean, it appears so. It appears so. But now I got to ask what both of you are wearing.
Iman, you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. I'm wearing some two-tone bling. I've got on my Tudor Black Bay 31 in steel and gold.
Let me blow her up. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Yeah, I've been wearing it consecutive days for the last few days. It's hardy and waterproof and goes with everything. So a really easy thing to throw on. Chris, what are you wearing?
Well, we were drinking the same Kool-Aid today because I got my Black Bay 58 on.
Oh, it's my love.
So my Black Bay 58 bronze on the bun strap there. So yeah, this is my I have a decent sized watch collection, but this is my favorite watch in the collection. It's the watch that got me into writing about watches and started off the journey of meeting a lot of people. So yeah, it's one that I can safely say is never gonna leave.
Yeah. Do you ever wear it on a bracelet, Chris?
I do. Yeah, I wear it on the bracelet. I typically take advantage of like the cold winter months to wear it on like the thick leather bun strap. As soon as that temperature starts to hit 60 degrees, I'm like, no. So yeah, I wear it on the bracelet a lot. Do you want me to bring it on the bracelet when I come to? Is that what you want to try it on? I'll take all the links out. Yes.
Oh no.
I don't care. No, Iman wants a Black Bay 58 bronze. So I feel like the only way I'm losing this watch is if it gets stolen by her while I'm in London.
So. That seems like a pretty common thing. Like you come to London with a watch and you leave with no watches. Yeah. Like I guess in your case, luckily you will know the thief. But not always the case.
I'll know.
I want to know if the bracelet is a hair puller.
Not for me, and I feel like that's a bigger problem on my wrist than it would be yours. So,
yeah,
no, it's not.
Confidence.
It's not a hair puller, but I will bring it because you definitely have to live with the fact that if you sweat at all while it's on the bracelet, your wrist is turning green.
Right.
So washes right off, but you just got to be cool with your wrist turning green.
Bronze watches are like one of those like acquired taste things. Because I have two, and and one of them has like I think it's like a titanium back, so it doesn't. And they also said it's food grade bronze. What the hell is food grade bronze?
Oh no, no.
You can eat off it.
Well, I guess so.
Are lacking a plate.
It's weird. So it is a Spitfire, an IWC Spitfire.
Oh, nice.
And like if I'm like, you know, like have my hands like within, I'd say like 7 or 8 inches, you know, from my face, like I smell it, and I'm like. It smells like metallic metalish shit, you know, and I'm like,
it smells like a penny. That's how.
Yeah,
it smells like a penny. You got to be used to that. But
Do you
yeah,
have
no.
pennies in the States? I thought you call them cents.
Well, they stopped making them. Did you hear about that?
we did stop minting them.
Really?
No more,
Oh.
no more, no more
No more
pences.
Yeah, because
Oh.
it was actually one of the very few things that our Führer did that I did not disagree with, which was because the penny costs like 3.5 cents or something to make the thing that its value is 1 cent.
Yeah.
So why are we minting them?
But why would you call it a penny?
Why
I
do
don't even
we
know.
call it a penny?
I don't even
It's a
know what it
Because
means.
it's pence. So penny. But
maybe.
you call it cents. So when you call it a
Right.
senny.
I think you're onto something.
You're gonna have to edit out all the crap jokes, Blake.
He doesn't. He
is-
doesn't edit.
Yeah,
This is all going up there.
this is all it. Like, this is the real deal,
This
right
is why
here.
I was terrified. You have no idea how much work Iman puts into making me sound like a human without ADHD.
Oh no, both of us. Both
I
of
had
us.
I have all my questions, which we've only like gotten through like one.
Sorry.
It says, and at the start of the show, remind Chris that we do not edit. So please don't say anything that Iman would have to edit, because Iman is not on my payroll. So the reminder is here.
21 minutes into recording.
Yeah. No, that's all right. We'll figure it out. No, I'll talk. So my wife is a podcast editor, like, and she first was editing my podcasts, and then like I would just say some shit off the cuff, and then she'd be like, "You never talked to me about that," and I'm like, "Oops!" Like, just got myself in the doghouse, you know. Like, I'd be talking about like buying a watch or something that I wanted, and she'd be like, "You're not buying that watch," you know. So
I would
maybe
love it if she edits your podcasts but also comments on them live as she's editing.
Oh yeah, like
It'd be like the director's cut.
we're gonna try some new stuff this year, so that might be a good idea, at least just to see how people respond to it, you know, because like my podcast, they feel so like square, you know, like cookie cutter, you know, and yeah, I like to jump off the script every once in a while and try something new, you know. And me and a couple other friends are also talking about having like, and this, I mean, just logistically would just probably sound terrible, but just like a mega podcast of like 8 or 10 like people on one episode, and just like free for all, like a WWE like Super Slam.
That sounds like every family dinner I've ever had. So it doesn't sound great to me at first.
Yeah. But no, I do have some stuff to ask you. So let's talk shop, okay? Tell me about like how you guys even decided to like start a podcast.
Chris, why don't you take this one?
All right, let me blow you up.
Yeah, well, I had been considering making a podcast for a while, and I just was never sold on the idea. This was a conversation that I had with a couple of friends in the community, because honestly, it's just I do a lot of writing in the watch community, and it's come to the point where, while I do love the writing and reading other publications and reading what other writers write in watches, it's just not viable to sustain yourself within watches just doing that. So you've got to find something else to do as well. And I was just like, okay, so podcasts, like I could talk about things, but for me, I didn't want it to be by myself. It was just a matter of finding the right person who would make me feel less self-conscious about
This person?
doing it.
This person?
Yes, that person. That person right there. For the people listening, he panned over to Iman. Yeah, and then I met Iman last year at British Watchmakers Day. Well, met her in person at British Watchmakers Day. And I think within a month or two of us meeting, we were messaging somewhat regularly when I went back home, and eventually I asked her if she wanted to do a podcast with me, and took her maybe 15 minutes or less to say yes. But I mean, I think Iman can cover a little bit more of the backstory, the precursor to us meeting, because we somewhat were having conversations before meeting in person.
Did you
Oh
did you have
yes,
to
on Instagram.
did you have to
God,
think
that
about it
feels
too
like-
hard?
Think about what? Oh, did Iman
Ju-
have to think about it?
Yeah, jumping on with this guy.
Oh no, it was because the thing is, I live a very offline life. I'm not good at Instagram, and Chris, you're one of the few people I DM'd as like, be my friend, be my Instagram friend. There are very few people I actually do that with, and so for me, like, I just wanted to have someone to talk about watches with. It was just for the sheer pleasure of chatting about it, and my friends in my real life were just getting really tired of me being like, but don't you think the strap looks really good with the and so it was great to meet someone, and also it was just so I knew, I think, because Chris shares a lot about himself on his Instagram,
Yeah.
and I just had this gut feeling that I was like, we're kindred spirits. I think this guy could be a friend. Like, he's friend material. And
Aw.
so I accosted him.
Gotta get the
And I'm
the
very,
blush in
very,
there.
very glad I did, because honestly, it's been one of the most amazing, rewarding things I've done in the last year. And also, it's just been amazing for my mental health as well. I'm so grateful for this podcast and for Chris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I feel the same way, and it really is. We got the sweetest message like a couple of weeks ago from someone that listens to our podcast, and they are I believe they said they were a psychologist. They were going to school for psychology, and they're going to graduate and be a psychologist soon. And they had just sent us a message about how they like how we often talk about mental health and stuff on our podcast. So it was really validating to hear that from a listener, that sinks in, because it is something Iman and I, even when we're not recording, comment on. I feel like we check in with each other every now and then, especially if we've gone a little while without hearing from the other one. Like, are you live? Are you okay?
Yeah.
So no, it was a very natural and quick friendship. And honestly, when we met at British Watchmakers Day last year, Iman had to tell me, because I'm very bad with names, faces, Instagram handles, and like putting them all together. So she had to tell me her Instagram handle, like, oh, I'm tick tick tap tap, and in my head I knew I had spoken with this person quite a few times, but it wasn't until I got back to my my Airbnb that evening that I looked up tick tick tap tap, and I'm like, oh, it's this person that has all the writing conversations with me, and all the commented on me saying something about therapy and mental health. Like, it's this person. And I had put it all together, like who she was, and I felt so horrible that we didn't have a longer conversation there.
Oh my God, absolutely not. Like, I'm amazed that you even like registered tick tick tap tap, because I met you as like a kind of, I expect nothing. I just want to tell you you're great. I'm so excited to see you and have a lovely time in London. And if you need anything, I'm here. So I never expected to go for a coffee or anything, but that was really lovely when you reached out the next day and were like, I'm so sorry, I've just realized who you are. I'd love to go for a coffee.
That happened to me, to the worst person ever, Lucy from Watchbox Diaries. Worst person ever for that to happen to. And she was like in Austin, when you were working the Moles booth, like I was there working with another brand, and like the entire time, like Lucy was like across from me, and she just kept looking up at me like with this like cranky face, because I had walked, before the whole like thing, I walked around and I was just kind of like hanging out before I had to work, and then she's like, hi, and I'm like,
she's such a
hi.
sweet person though.
Yeah, like, hi, who are you? And then like I started going back, like as I'm working on this project right now, and I'm looking through some of the footage, and I'm like, I have filmed with her, like I have had like at length conversations with her, and I'm the asshole that doesn't even remember who she is.
Well,
and so she was making this eye contact with me after the entire like event, like, are you gonna come say hi to me? Or like I don't know, you could just feel the knife eyes, stabbing me with her eyes. And I said something to her about it. So like, by the time this makes it on the airwaves, like people are going to know that story already, because her and I had that discussion like on the pod, and she was so cool about it. But yeah, the worst person ever. And it just seems weird. It feels weird. It feels awkward. And yeah, but no, you guys got through it okay, right?
Yeah, I don't think we've had an awkward. I mean, the thing I think that kind of made it understandable that Iman had never posted pictures of her face.
Yeah.
So I really couldn't make that connection. She had only been posting like wrist shots and stuff. So yeah, now that we have the podcast though, and people have seen your face, Iman, I feel like this year when we go to British Watchmakers Day, it's going to be a different story when
Batman
other people
uncovered.
meet you.
You literally just said that to me before we started recording. You're like, hi, nice to meet you. I didn't even know what you look like, but now I do.
Yeah, it changes the game.
I mean, yeah, it's like gonna be insane. You're gonna get stormed by watch nerds now.
I know. I'll have to like wear sunglasses. Please, no more questions.
Get you one of those like what are the masks called where they have like the just the eyes cut out and the mouth cut out? It's like Russian mafia people wear them.
Oh my god, they're terrifying. Yeah.
Robber masks?
No, there's like a more proper name for them.
Ski masks. I think that's
it is a ski mask, but it's a special type of ski mask.
I know. Yeah, the ones where you like bust into a bank with at gunpoint and like, yeah, I know the ones.
I'm sure you can find those pretty readily available in the UK.
Could you imagine someone walking around a watch convention wearing them?
Yeah, I'm sure that will make everyone feel really safe and comfortable.
But if you have sunglasses though, you kind of like downplay it a little bit, so if you have the mask, then you have the sunglasses.
You're a cool thug. Just go hang out by the Roger Smith watches.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get tackled. I'm curious because it's been a really long time since I've been to the UK, but you guys come from different cultures and different backgrounds. Like Iman, like this is your time to shine right here. But like, and I don't think you haven't even been to the States, have you? Like, I remember you
once, very briefly, actually twice. I went. My other half, Hannah, was working in Boston, actually in Cambridge for like a month or two. So I went to stay with her for a few weeks there, and then she was also doing some work in New York another time. So I went for a couple of days to stay with her then. But
have you gotten a taste of the American watch culture?
Never. No.
Well. We know what we need to do now.
We'll have to.
I can't wait. I have to go to a wind up one day.
Which one?
I don't know. I my sister-in-law is getting married in New York in February. And so
shit.
I have to apply for my what's called an ESTA. It's the visa waiver program between UK and the US. So I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that Trump lets me in.
I've got to do that for when I come over to see you in March.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna do you ever do anything like in like main like do you do like the Watches and Wonders? Do you do all that side of it, or like do you do any watch shows in Europe other than like the British Watchmakers show?
Me? No, no,
Yeah.
not at all. I've been to British Watchmakers Day and then maybe one or two other smaller fairs in the
Yeah,
UK.
you
In
gotta
London.
do baby steps. Like we need to baby step her. Like if you go to wind up, you're gonna freaking like stroke out or something.
I know. You're gonna have to give me some of your Adderall, Chris.
I can share. Um, no, but I think this is something like important for folks to know, and I don't know if we've ever been super clear about this even on our podcast, but like our podcast is Iman's like first real big step into watches outside of being an enthusiast, I think, and I think it might shock people because Iman, you do have an incredible amount of knowledge about watches. So it's yeah, I think I kind of roped you in even more than you were already.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because I never think of myself as someone with knowledge, especially in this hobby where there's knowledge and then there's knowledge. You know, you've got people who are really well versed in movement technology and how they work, or history of design, or like experts in specific brands, or someone like Tim Mosso that just seems to know everything. But I went to watch shopping this weekend, Chris. I messaged you, and I was just window shopping, going to the usual boutiques, and I was so kind of shocked and slightly appalled to realize that I knew so much more than most of the salespeople in there, even in just like the models I was asking for. I'd be like, oh, can I see, that Zenithal Primero, and blank look across their face. Or I'd be like, oh, do you have in the Rolex do you have a pre-owned Rolex 16570? Blank look. And I found it really interesting
I
to know
can take
who
this
they're
one.
employing. Yeah.
I can take this one.
Go.
Because as somebody who sold watches, the nerdy stuff takes people out of the interaction. Like you have a very small percentage of customers that come in and they're like, let me get like a 116510, or like, and then, like, cool, boom, let me go get it. Like, it takes people away from the experience. So a lot of times you have people that would come into the shop and they would just want to nerd out, right? And there's a very small percentage of customers, but you have people that just come in and just looking for something, and just the watch is the solution,
But even the most basic, so I asked to see if they had the Omega OP, not the Omega, the Rolex OP beige dial, and it's Rolex calls it the beige dial.
Right.
She was like, which one? And I was like, the beige, the one that was released this year, the beige.
Yeah.
And she was like, she's opened her little iPad and like looked through, and she was like, oh, this yellow one. I said, yes, beige.
Did she work at a multi-brand store? Or did she just work at?
It was a Bookerer. So they're owned by Rolex.
Well, yeah, but she's probably got like 35 brands to realize and so certain people, and this is what my friend's doing. He just came from Watches Switzerland and he went over to Booker, and he's like, dude, I have because he was working at an Omega boutique and he was just new Omega, and then he'd be like, oh, if you want, whatever brand, go over there, and it was in the same hotel. And he's like, I've been doing like one brand a week, where he takes ownership of like one brand and like learns that brand. And then like, there's just so much to know. There's so much to know. But Rolex is the outlier, right? Like you would think that everybody should have their Rolex knowledge. But as somebody who's, sold Rolex, like, that's not where you make money. You don't make money selling Rolex. Like you make money selling other shit, So like, if I was in that situation as well, like I took like crazy liberty to learn like Omega and Tudor and like, like Tag or like Longines, because that is where you make money,
I also think too that when you go to these stores, you're like, we know all these things because we're enthusiasts, right? And when you go to these stores, like I sometimes forget, like this is just a job for for some people. And granted, I do think, you're selling things that cost thousands of dollars. I want to know that you know about it, if I'm going to pay you for it. But yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of like that. It's like that Ron Swanson moment in Parks and Recreation where he goes to a hardware store and where he goes to, like, Home Depot, and a guy
yeah,
approaches him, and before he says anything, Ron's like, "I know more than you."
yeah.
Like,
Well, I realize like the trend that like a lot of people that end up in those positions, they don't come from watches. Like they pluck people from like, oh, you were at Burberry. Oh, cool. Like
good salespeople.
let me bring you over. You're like, oh, you're at Chanel. Like, let me bring you over. Like, people land into watches and they get plucked into it, because once you're in that luxury space, right? It's like, oh, you're selling glasses, you're selling sunglasses, you're selling, chrome hearts or whatever silly shit. People like they just pluck them from these different sectors, and you get.
I do. I'm interrupting because I do want to make sure that I tell the most important part of Iman's story of going to
Shit, I'm
try on
sorry.
watches,
Yeah.
which is just she sends me a voice message, the most evil voice message of just, "Oh, Chris, I've been looking at all of these watches and it's so nice and blah blah blah." And then she goes into this thing of, "I think I tried on my next big watch purchase. It's something that's this and that." And she goes into like a 1.5 or 2 minute long description of how she feels about this thing, and then ends the voice message with, "I'm not going to tell you what it is though. Bye."
Was that the beige OP?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Oh, it was like you're just gonna leave us,
She's gonna
both of us
deliver
hanging
to it
now.
later. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes, I wanted to do that to everybody because I now know, so that everyone knows how I felt in that moment.
They didn't have a beige OP in even a display one in stock.
That sucks. But I mean, I don't think you're missing out. I had an OP for a while. And I actually got more recently like the black OP, like the new one, like the black, like, and it's a cool watch. I don't tend to wear my Rolexes. Rolex to me doesn't scream watch collector. Maybe that's the hot take, right? Like, like you can go see a finance bro, who's got a Daytona or like a day date or something, and you'd be like, oh, cool 116510. He's like, what, bro?
There is a ubiquity, and in London as well. I see it's Rolex on not almost everyone's wrist, but a lot of people's wrists, and you can guarantee that they don't know what it is.
and then something that's really weird to me too is like, because we do like a lot of like watch club stuff. Like I have a watch club here in Vegas, and like I would wear like my Submariner to like the club meetups just because it was like kind of like the epitome of like a daily driver, right? And people would be like, oh, what'd you wear today? And it's like, oh, I'm wearing my Sub. And it's almost like a whole look of like disappointment like came over their face because they know that I have way cooler watches and I'm just wearing like, like the finance bros like go to.
They want to see the thing they've never seen before.
Yeah. And then, like I think everybody, and this sounds so weird, but if you're into watches, you've probably tried on a Submariner, like everybody. So like then people don't even ask like, oh, let me try that on. Like, let me see what that's about, like, and so
let me Google Submariner and see what you're talking about.
I've actually never tried one on.
Oh,
well,
shit,
no, I've
really?
tried on the old vintage model, but I haven't tried on the current
That's
models.
fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, you've tried on a Submariner.
You did it.
I did it. Yay, me.
You've made it. You've made it in watches.
I can't say it's a watch I've ever wanted. There are a lot of watches that I like. I like some of the ones with the colored bezels. So I like
that's what I had. I had
Kermit.
I had the Starbucks one. So it was like the black dial with the green bezel.
Yeah.
And then I like literally was like, I loved it. I loved it for a long time. And then something like really weird happened that I was wearing it in public and I was sitting across from a Rolex dealer and they saw, so I went out and like got myself like an aftermarket like in link for it. and I got myself like the Oyster Flex. So like I got a real Oyster Flex, and I put my real deployant on it. So like it was like literally like a modded up sub,
I
right?
bet a sub looks badass on an oyster.
It was so badass. It was so badass. I will show you a picture. And then the lady said some shit like, wait, why would you do that? Like, I can't unsee that. And I'm like,
A lady that worked in the store.
no, she was like an owner of a jewelry store that sold and carried Rolex. and then I was wearing it around, and I ended up wearing it like that into my Rolex dealer. And they're like, you can't do that, Blake. You can't do, like, why are you doing that? You can't do that. And I'm like, what? Like, so yeah, it's like, it's just very weird that, you know, they have these kind of like weird rules, like on, I mean, it's like, it's more like taboo about how you can wear your watches, and like, you know,
you took it off the factory. You took it off the factory bracelet.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would do that.
But don't they sell like a Yachtmaster and an Oyster Flex? That looks so
it's precious
cool.
metal. So you can only get a precious metal watch on Oyster Flex. And that's the intentionality, right? Like, so like people who don't want to like get the all gold bracelet, you know, like there's like a 10 grand premium between the two, if not more, you know? So anything that's on Oyster Flex is precious metal.
Yeah.
But I love the Black Bay 54 on the rubber. I think it just looks so cool. It's like absolutely that vintage vibe that I imagine your sub look like on an Oyster Flex. It's such a cool look.
I think that's Rolex like dipping their toe, like, okay, let's see like if a steel rubber sports watch will work for us, you know? And
crazy.
I know, like let me experiment in that, you know, like I don't know if that's what's really happening.
If we give the people what they want, if they'll like it.
I mean, this whole concept of wearing a steel watch with rubber just seems insane, you know? And so again, I have no idea. It's just speculation here, but it's just really weird that like that happens, you know, like you buy this watch, and I just talked about this again, like on some content I did, but like, you know, brands sell you this idea of like generational ownership, and it's like romantic, like, oh, like Iman, like you're gonna pass this down to like, you know, your children's 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 children, you know, and then, you know, 30 years, 20 years after they stop making it, they don't even freaking make parts for it anymore. And you can't service it. And then like, you know, you take it to like a watchmaker like on the corner, and he like does a perfect job servicing it. Then you have to get generic parts, and then you're like, oh, I just lost like 20% of the value of my watch. Not that that really matters, but you get it. You know, it does matter to some people, but like, you know, he tainted your Rolex with generic parts, you know? It's like,
people
that's all you
weird,
can get.
Man. People are weird. Just wear it.
I have to ask, is there a watch that both of you admire, but you would like never own?
Iman, do you have a go-to?
Never own because they're financially out of reach. There are a lot of them.
Anything.
Or never own on principle.
Both, either.
Oh gosh, so many.
Or maybe because it doesn't, maybe we don't like,
doesn't fit.
Maybe how it doesn't fit our vibe, but we still like
doesn't vibe.
I mean, I love Panerais. I just think they're awesome, but I'd probably never own one because...
Ouch, that hurts my heart.
Because I wouldn't own one, or because I love them?
Because you wouldn't own one.
Oh, I mean, the Due is the only one that looks just about acceptable on me.
Yeah.
And I would love to own one. They're quite a lot of money.
They are.
And it's quite a specific.
They're much cheaper when they're used too.
Like, they are cheaper, but not cheap enough. Maybe in 10 years. But I like the bigger. I particularly like the Radiomirs, and they don't come in anything sub 40 mil. And I've tried the 40 mil on, they're just too big for me. But I think they're gorgeous.
That's a great watch. I almost wore that watch today for our pod.
I didn't. Have you got a Radiomir?
I got the 40. I had I had the 45 and I was like, I feel like I'm wearing like a dinner plate. And then
It is big.
and then yeah. And then I wore it for about a year and I was just like, I have these watches because like I have a small wrist, but my wrist is like flat. So like it's like this, like, but it's like tiny. And so like, I mean, I can wear like a 44 millimeter Panerai, like no problem.
I'm so jealous.
And I own a 44 like that's like my baby, and like but the 45 radio mirror was just a little too much. And then I went down to the 40 and never looked back. And I love that watch. But Chris, you're up.
I think I have the opposite, maybe the opposite issue of Iman, where I don't know that I have a specific watch in my head, but I can tell you that I like a lot of Cartier models that I don't think I would buy because they're too small for me. One of my favorite episodes that Iman and I have done was we did a gender bending episode where we chose.
You chose your other watch.
We just chose watches that like for me it marketed towards women that I would wear.
Oh, okay.
So for me, my one of my choices was a Cartier Panthère. And that is one I would buy. That I think the largest Cartier Panthère model fits me exactly how I would want it to. But then there are different Cartier models that they don't make that don't get that large. Like I love like the Benoir Cartiers and stuff, like the really tiny one. Like I love those, but they just would not look right on me. But the Panthère is one of my favorites. And the last time I went into a store to try one on, I think I've told him on about that. Like it was in DC and the guy was just like, I was trying it on, and as I was putting it on, he just goes, that's a woman's watch, right? And
get out of here, dude. Like,
yes, I'm a woman.
And I'm like, bro, I had no intention of buying it that day, but he didn't know that. And I was just like, man, like I've got it on my wrist, like right now, I'm happy with it. Why would you say that? Or if I'm not that fragile where someone suggesting I'm wearing something feminine would hurt me, but yeah, I just thought that was it's weird how we look at things. But yeah, I would say I have the opposite problem of Iman, where there are things that I like that might be too small, and I wouldn't get it. Although I think I could go down to like a 36 if we're talking like normal, like a normal circular dial. I can pull off certain 36s.
It'll be fun to get you to try on all my watches when you visit.
I'm excited to. I want to try on your Cartier. You have the wrong.
That'll look great on you.
Yeah, I think so.
That'll look awesome on you.
What about one that like you saw like a release that came out and you're like, this is terrible, and then you go put it on your wrist and you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Oh no, Iman, you just had one of those happen.
Did I? Which one?
A watch that I liked that you didn't like, and then you put it on and you ate your words.
Yes, I did. It was the Nomos World Timer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so I got to see a couple of those in the metal this weekend, and they're really well done. I still hold true to my initial feeling that not all the colors feel like they match. But the couple that I saw looked fantastic, and the size of it and the slimness of it and how they've managed to make those proportions work when you hold that watch and when you put it on your wrist is just pretty mind-blowing. I eat my words, most of them.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go we're going back to Panerai.
Oh, okay.
I never thought I would like Panerai. Like just me seeing them, I was like, I don't think this is me. And I remember the first time I tried on like a very classic like Luminor. Right, the Luminor is the one with the crown guard.
Well, the Luminor and the submersible. So the submersible
Right.
has the bezel, the rotating
Right.
bezel, the die bezel, and then the Luminor doesn't.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it was the Luminor that I tried on, the very classic looking Luminor. I put that on, and as soon as I strapped that to my wrist, I was like, "Oh, I like how this looks."
Yeah.
and I do have a big wrist, so I'm like, this looks like a normal watch on me. It doesn't look insane.
If Superman needed a weapon on his wrist, it would be a Panerai. Just so you know.
I don't think Superman needs to be any more fully loaded than he is with superpowers, but
you never know. You never know. But that would be the one. And that would, so ironically, before I got into like the watch culture community, whatever I'm in, like me and my friend, me and Justin, like if you go listen far enough back, like you'll know Justin. We used to work at Best Buy together, and like, we worked in the camera department, and like, we both had our different brands. Like,
I worked in cell phones.
Oh yeah. Mobile
for a year.
Hell yeah, there you go. And so we were actually VPLs. So like we were both like, we could pretty much just do whatever we wanted, like, because we were
So
paid.
a VPL over here is a visible panty line, isn't it?
Is that what that is?
Isn't it?
That's the first time I've heard that.
It's the outline of underwear, yeah.
Chris knows what I'm talking about. Vendor provided labor. Okay. So you're paid by an outside company to work in another person's store. Is what
right. You didn't just have your underwear on show for all to see.
I do have a visible panty line right now, though.
I'm sure there were moments where both of them were true. But we looked at like Panerais like all day, every day, like on the like on their computer, and they had like a little computer there, like, and it was designed for like printing customers' pictures when they'd come in, and we changed the background to like a Panerai logo, and then we went out and we got these like little like homage Panerais, that were like, they're from a brand called Parnis. And like everybody knows, like a very popular Chinese watch brand, and they make like nice watches, like nice homage watches. And so we each of us had one of those, and yeah, that was like my grail brand. Like I was like, and then when I left, like the company that I was at, like they had like, put all this money into my 401k. They were matching, and I'm like, oh, like they're not going to miss it. I had the opportunity to transfer out of the company. So like, against the stupidest thing ever, but I'm going to say it because I'm a stupid watch guy. Like I took the money that was for my retirement, and I'm like, oh, I'll put some more money in there later. Like bought a Panerai. Worst investment ever, but love it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. I'm curious too, because this happens a lot, and like watches that you own that you just fall out of love with. That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. I have some really hard questions lined up. Like, when did you start working on
I was gonna say that is hard. Watches that I've owned that
you've just like, this has got to go. I don't like this anymore.
So I had Chris, go.
No, go on. I'll remember mine.
Okay. I had a period of time where I fell out of love with my Cartier.
Ooh.
And then I fell back in love with it again. So, which is really, I was relieved, because I was like, why am I not connecting with you? I don't understand. But I think, I'm glad.
Was it the strap?
No, it wasn't. I think it was, I don't know what it was. I think it's a little bigger than I would like for a dress watch style watch. And now I've got a few smaller watches. They fill that gap in my collection. And so now I just wear the Cartier as a kind of daily driver watch. And actually that feels like it suits it much more.
Interesting.
How about you, Chris?
Well, mine is the my old Grand Seiko Shunbun. I'll say there was a lot that I loved about that watch, and there's a lot I love about Grand Seiko. I see myself owning one in the future again, just not that specific. The SPGA 413, just the regular Shunbun, with the pinkish white dial,
Cherry
titanium.
blossom.
I liked it, but there was just like a few things about it that I didn't like as much as I wanted to. I'm not a date window person, so I didn't like the date. The power reserve I actually had no problem with.
I was about to say.
But I will say I do prefer, because Grand Seiko does make models of a very similar dial to the Shunbun, where they don't have the power reserve or the date, and they have the power reserve on the back. And I'm like, oh, I much prefer that, just because that the dial is just so beautiful. It's what I want to see unbroken with that. So when the opportunity came for me to trade that for something else, I got the Omega CK 859. I have it behind me.
I was just wearing one of those like last week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, such a good one.
Yeah, so like this is the opposite. Like, there's nothing on this dial that doesn't need to be there, and
boom boom.
Yeah,
such a good one.
Yeah, it's so nice, and it was an even trade, and I just love that so much more than that particular Grand Seiko. But I can definitely see myself, like the Grand Seiko Omi Watari, the water looking like dress watch that they have. I could see myself owning that and never giving it up, because I think that watch is perfect. But yeah. So yeah, I would say that the Shunbun was a watch that I mostly loved, but the keyword there was just like mostly. And for someone like me, when I'm spending that much money on something, I need, at least I know now what to look for, like what I might fall out of love with later.
Grand Seiko is one of those brands that, for some reason, I mean, there's a lot of them on Chrono24 and eBay, and so it seems like people that buy them for whatever reason, like, don't hold on to them. And I right now am going through my second Grand Seiko, and considering getting rid of my second one.
Which one do you have?
I had the it was like the silver dial, but it was like a champagne dial. And it was like one of the 9F quartz ones, which is amazing. And then, and now I have, I think it was last year, or maybe the year before, they came out with the blue and pink. Like, I think it's like the SPGA like 403 or something like that.
Okay. Oh yeah. I know which ones you're talking about. Yeah.
And yeah, it's so I have the blue one. Like, and it looks like purple in certain light, and then it looks blue in certain light, and then like it looks black in certain, like it just it's so cool. But like, I was just telling my friend, who was like, hey, I'll buy that off you. And I'm like, if I sell this, like, I'll probably, first of all, I'll never find another one, because there's only like 300 of them or something.
Right.
And then I think there's only 2 available for sale right now, and they're all US exclusives. And like, and one of them ended up in Japan, and it's like, like almost more expensive than it was brand new. But then there's one here in the States, it's like $2,000 cheaper than brand new. So, but it's just such a beautiful watch that, like, it's like too beautiful.
What's the reference, Blake?
I think it's like 403 SBGA 403 Grand Seiko. We're doing like a whole lot right now. That's not it. US exclusive.
I don't think I've seen this one before.
It's super cool. SBG.
Yeah, pop it in the studio chat, Blake, when you find it.
I will. I'm looking,
because maybe it's not what I'm thinking.
Looking. It's the 507, and I will pop it in the studio chat. If I can figure out how to open my own chat.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I have not seen this and it's gorgeous.
It
507.
is.
It's absolutely
Yeah,
I love the pink one too.
Ooh, yeah.
So you have
yeah.
a 506 and 507. So I think there's the two. Yeah, that they came out with it at the same time.
Oh, and the spring drive. They're great.
And the price was right too. Like, I mean, in my opinion, like, everything else was like $7 grand, 10 grand, and I'm like, this is economical for a piece of 300, and it's like, it's beautiful, and it's like, gives you all the Grand Seiko goodness, and yeah, I mean, it's she's over there.
Yeah. $5,600. That's really not bad from new.
Yeah.
That's for spring drive. That is amazing value.
I thought so too.
Wow.
The way that I picked up my other Grand Seiko was weird because I was going to like we did like a Grand Seiko event here with like Joe Kirk like flew in and like hosted all of us, and like like we got to like we had like
He's
back
an
here,
awesome dude.
yeah I have like my name written in Grand Seiko.
I have it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And-
have the lady there that does your name and everything. Yeah.
Yep. And so like so that and I was like, I need a Grand Seiko. And I just happened to be at a pawn shop, and they had the I think I'm gonna show you the other one. I'm gonna find the other one now. They had the 9F quartz one, and that was like $1,800 like at the pawn shop. And I literally was just getting rid of an old Rolex, and so I cashed out and I walked with the Grand Seiko. And then when I showed it to Joe, I was like, oh, this is my first Grand Seiko. And he's like, that's actually the hardest dial that we have to make. I don't think people know that. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Here stumbling around looking for it. Yeah, this is the SBGA 263. 437. Sorry, 437.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. No, actually, no, it's not it. Sorry, 263. I had it right the first time.
It's all these numbers, man.
Yeah, it's like, geez, but it's like a champagne-ish, and it's like it's sexy. It's sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy as a watch can be.
Yeah. From my shopping weekend, Chris, I sent you a photo for Grand Seiko, the titanium quartz flake. Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
In 37. That's really nice, actually. I love how light the titanium is. It's so satisfying.
Titanium is
You can
amazing.
fall either way on the titanium.
I'll tell you all the Grand Seiko I had been looking at recently. It's sold out, so the only way to get it is used now. But it's the hold on, I just had it up. It is the SBGY 035.
SBGY 035.
Is that the
We're gonna
red
have to
one?
edit this.
Yeah, it's a red. It's the red like dress watch.
Oh,
It's a spring
yeah.
drive manual wind movement. It's the Omiwatari case, but with a fire red.
Is it the
dial.
36 mil? Oh no, I'm looking at something else.
It is
38
38 point. Yeah, 38 and a half.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This one's awesome. Yeah, no, my buddy, when we went to LA for a watch show, and we went to the Grand Seiko boutique in Beverly Hills, like looking for this watch. And he's like, if you got it, I'll buy it. And the guy's like, it took the guy like maybe like a year to kind of process that. Cause he's like, oh, let me, you could tell that he was hungry for a sale. So it was like, let me check this store's inventory. Let me check that store's inventory. And let me check that. Let me see if there's one at the distribution center. And it's like, and then eventually he couldn't find one. But it is so beautiful. I've seen this one. I saw this one. I can't remember when, but I think when Joe Kirk just came back, like maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. Like 3 months ago, and did an event, and I think he had this one.
Yeah, that is really beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of the AnOrdain, the fume dials.
Yeah.
You like the plum one, so do I actually. I love the plum one and the AnOrdains. I emailed them, by the way. I don't know, maybe like a couple of months ago, because I've got a build slot with them, and I was asking them about if there's any chance of getting a fume dial in the smaller sizes, because right now they don't do that. And they said, yes, they're planning to release them later this year. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, that is exciting. And you need to slip in there. You're like, hey, I have my own podcast. I can talk about this. If you want to get it to me sooner.
Lucy, are you listening?
Use that leverage. Yeah, we'll tell Lucy. I'll
tell Lucy. I don't know if I think she
isn't
works
she Paulin?
She's Paulin.
She's on the Paulin side of things.
She knows the people that work.
She's married to AnOrdain.
Yeah.
Lewis, right? Or is she Lewis's sister or sister-in-law?
I have no idea. But no, actually so funny, because when I met Lucy for the first time, I was like, I can't remember. I think I was at Wind Up in San Francisco. And then I go, oh, I just had Lewis on my podcast. Like, are you his wife? And then she's like, no. Like, who are you? Like, what the hell? Who is this weirdo? And then I was like, oh, yeah, my name's Blake. Like, I had Lewis on the pod. And like, she's like, I'm going to tell him you said that. And I think she was just messing with me. Or she said something along the lines like, he's going to find that really comical.
We're just trying to figure out how everyone's connected.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. Like, I'm just trying to figure out like what is, but no, I think she does both. And yeah, Lewis is such a good dude.
Oh, the fume dials in the small size are up now on their website. That's so exciting.
What's the smaller size?
It is, I think it's a 35, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so it's right up your alley.
It's right up my alley. Yeah, it's perfect.
Like,
I want it. I can't wait. 2027. Come on.
You could probably email them too, and just say, hey,
my god!
Hey, like if somebody like if somebody passes up on their build slot, let me know. I don't know how that works.
That's true. This is crazy. So if you click secure build slot now, we're looking at 2030.
I don't want one that bad.
we have one of the collectors here in our group, and like he became like a really close friend. And after I recorded my pod with Lewis, I'm like, I got my friend on the phone. I'm like, hey, this is like one of your biggest, like, AnOrdain customers. He goes, what do you mean biggest AnOrdain customers? And he's like, I have 5 of your watches. And he's like, I didn't even know somebody had 5 of my watches. Like, nice to meet you. Like, and
I
so
use different emails to buy them.
Yeah, I don't know. But weirdly enough, so like his partner is also obsessed with watches, and like he comes to the club meetups as well, and he has been obsessing over the new like gold plated PVD, whatever, Furlan Marri, right? So like those things have been like out of stock forever, and I was trying to get one in New York, and I just couldn't get one. So then when Time and Tide opened their store in New York, I texted Georgia. I was like, hey, like I'm sure you probably hate me now because we just finished this project together, but if you want to do me a favor and go buy this watch for me and then ship it through UPS. And she surprisingly said yes. And so that will be here Friday.
Oh,
And
wow. Is that the
exciting.
Sabia Rosa?
it is. It's the
Oh,
Sabia.
it's a
Sabia
beautiful
is so
watch.
beautiful.
It's a
And it's
gorgeous
for
watch.
so it's they're two friends, Brian and Craig. And Craig just had surgery. So like he literally has been in the ER for like 2 weeks. And so I'm like just like trying to like rush this thing in, you know, to kind of like just to kind of like it's not for me, it's for him, you know. And so yeah, I can't wait to see his reaction once it comes in, because he literally he was so sad when he missed the order window. And they went out of stock, and then like somehow like Time and Tide had like one of them.
There
I can't
you
wait.
go.
Can't
Now
wait
you're
for
hero.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Speaking of Furlan Marri, their Disco Volante is one of maybe the only lugless watches that I actually quite like, especially the green one, the Disco Verde.
The Disco Volante is such an interesting watch, and it's one that really resonates with me
I'd love to
because
try one on because they look like they'll wear really well.
they do. They wear great.
Do
And
you have one?
no. But I have a story. That relates to that.
Something better. What's better than a watch? A story about a watch.
I wouldn't say it's better, but it really kind of cements like the specialness of the Disco Volante to me. And it was 2 years ago, and I had never met Andrea from Furlan Marri. And I'm, here I am. This is the first year I started Lonely Wrist. I'm like just sending everybody messages, like annoying everybody. Like, hey, let's do content. Let's talk. Like, come meet up with me, And Andrea said yes. So I went to his studio in Geneva, and then he says, hey, I want to show you something. And so he pulls out a 3D printed Disco Volante. And I got to try on a 3D printed Disco Volante.
That's cool.
And then he's like, this is coming up. He's like, what do you think?
All of us did.
I don't know if all of us, but I don't know.
It was before me for sure.
I don't know how many people that includes, but it was just like right place, right time. And we're talking about doing a club watch. So it might be the Disco Volante.
I mean, I think that would be a badass club watch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the minimum orders are kind of like challenging, right? Because he tries to really aggressively price his watches, and so you have to buy a lot to get your price down.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to figure that out. But that would be freaking amazing, and it is so good. You have to try it on. But if you want, Iman, I can see if I can get you a 3D printed one.
Oh my god! Hodinky did a photo report on Dubai Watch Week, and on that they've got what's clearly must be a piece unique Disco Volante in green with Eastern Arabic numerals. So I'm going to send you the link to the photo report, and then if you search disco in that, it should come up.
Do it.
There it is.
Where am I looking? Am I looking somewhere? Oh, private chat. Oh, this is cool. I didn't even know.
That does look cool.
Isn't that awesome? And that like chain mesh bracelet is so cool. And the like two tones. So there's a gold crown, but the rest of the thing is silver, except for like the handset and the dial markings. It's really cool.
Wait, am I looking at the right watch? I'm looking at an AP.
It's the second Disco.
Disco number 2.
Disco number 2. I saw the AP too.
Oh shit! Yeah,
is that banging? I want it.
well, 1/2 of Furlan Marri is Hamad, and so like they really cater their products to like the Middle Eastern market. So yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, one of their co-founders.
I'm gonna slide into Hamad's DMs.
I
Do it.
I think
That is a banging watch, honestly.
he's such a nice guy.
Oh, that's always nice to
He's
hear.
such a nice guy. Like when I did the content with them, like, I'd sent it to him. Like, I'm like, hey, look, here's this video that I finished. Like, I literally, like, after I left Switzerland, I was so excited to work on this video. I started editing it in the airport.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
like, when I was at the gate, before the gate even flew out, I finished the video. And so I'm like, let me just like pulse check this. Like, is this a big piece of shit? Like, let me see like what people think, So I have a couple people like Chris got to see one of those little, like, is this a piece of shit content things that I put together? And so I like to see, and he was like, oh my God, like this is great. Like, this is so good. Like, thank you. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess if he says it's good, then maybe I could just post it, like, so I need some external validation every once in a while.
We all do.
And he was so nice and so kind. And he's like, yeah, like next time, like, I'm going to hope to meet you in person. And like, we can do more content. And I'm like, that's what I want to hear. And
Sounds good.
I have
I'll be doing some DM sliding. On that note, guys, I'm about to turn into a pumpkin. It's nearly midnight here.
Yeah.
I might have to check out.
Any last questions?
Final question. I just got to go out with a bang. When did your enthusiasm turn to obsession?
I started listening to the Two Broke Watch Snobs podcast, and those guys are just so funny. And it is honestly, I still mourn the death of that podcast. I mean, every now and then they'll put out a new episode, but Kaz and Mike, shout out to them. They gave me so much joy for about a year as I listened to every single episode right from the beginning. And yeah, that was the start of the obsession, but also the obsession with the world and the community and the talking about it, not just watches, which I think is the thing we always talk about. Come for the watches, stay for the community. Ha ha.
Yeah. This podcast has been like, it feels like we're like poking a watch, but like with a stick, you know what I mean? Like this entire episode has been like us poking a watch with a stick and like, scared to pick it up type of thing.
Yeah.
Right. But it's going to be fun. This is going to be different. This is different.
How about you, Chris? Obsession?
Yeah.
Obsession. I think when my brother bought me my first mechanical watch, which was Timex M79 with Snoopy on it.
Batman.
The Snoopy Batman Timex. That was my first mechanical watch. He was into watches before me, and I used to make fun of my brother for how much money he would spend on watches. And, but I think it took me getting my first mechanical one to be like, oh, I get it now. And I think once I found a community, I was done.
Hook, line, sinker.
Hook, line, and sinker. It's definitely been the hobby that has lasted the longest in my life. So
yeah,
sticking with it.
Well, with that, Iman needs to sleep. And thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a very different podcast. And it's cool. It's cool. Like I like talking sometimes other than watches. So hopefully everybody who listens, who's a watch geek, who is normal to my normal watch geek shit, like enjoys this as well. Because I ain't gonna edit it at all. We're just going out there like this. And if you appreciated this conversation, please go check out Chris and Iman and Chris, A Tale of Two Wristies, where Wristies meet. The Lonely Wrist and A Tale of Two Wristies. And like that, we are out. Bye.
Thanks so much, Blake.
Bye. Yes, thank you.